I'm going to start off today's video with 3 words for those who are struggling. Never give up. And I got 4 words for every single person watching.
I love you guys.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Carnivore Quest. Larry here. Very cool you stopped by. It is day 2 of the ground beef challenge. 8 a.m. my friends. I got some black coffee here. It's actually not tasting too bad today. For those of you who haven't stopped by in a while and you're out of the loop, I am eating ground beef only for the month of April. Ground beef, butter, and salt. And so far so good, because yesterday, day 1, I didn't eat a thing. I ended up fasting. And I predicted in yesterday's video I would wake up not hungry, and sure enough, I'm not hungry at all. When I started this challenge, I did not expect anybody to do it with me, kind of like when I attempted that 30-day fast. I ended up making it 21 days. I did have a few people do that fast with me. There was probably 10 or 12 people that attempted it. Kind of the same thing with the ground beef challenge. I really didn't expect anybody to come along with me. But I'd say total, there's about 50 people, 50 of you who are going to give it a shot. A lot of you recommitting to your BBBE challenge, or just, tighten things up. You might have been slipping and sliding, in February or March. Do good 10, 12 days, and then they mess up. Rinse and repeat. You guys know the drill. Don't want you guys to get discouraged. Keep plugging away. The only way we fail is if we quit, And I'm determined, man. I'm so determined. To get down at least to where I was, 250 pounds. For me, that's being really strict. I'm not real good with moderation. If I let things slide back into my diet, like using heavy cream in my coffee, or I start consuming cheese, you guys know there's a real good chance I can let that get out of control. So looking forward to this very restrictive month. So in the refrigerator, I got 24 pounds of ground beef. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes me to go through that. I'm thinking I'll probably eat 2 to 3 pounds of ground beef a day once I get the ball rolling. First, I got to get my first meal in, right? And back when I did the BBBE challenge, I fasted for 36 hours, before I had my first meal. So I wouldn't be surprised if I don't eat lunch and I just have a really big dinner tonight. So anyway, I'll see you guys when I put something in my mouth. All right, gang, lunchtime came and went. I didn't eat. It is now 6:30 p.m. We got that 4 pounds of ground beef that Cassie picked up at Food Lion. It's $73.27. And we're going to weigh it out after cooking. Starting to sizzle. I should probably have used a bigger pan. See how this goes. Alright, we're getting there. A lot of fat to be drained. I'm a little shaky. I'm really, really hungry right now. So, it's going to be interesting to see how much I can eat. Alright, looks like we are good to go. Check out all the fat that came off this ground beef. Bam! We're talking over 2 cups. Yeah, that is a ton of fat. Let me know down in the comments, y'all, what you personally do with this extra fat. All right, got my serving bowl zeroed out. Let's weigh out some ground beef. All right, here we go. This is 1 pound of ground beef, and then it went up a little bit when I added a 1/4 stick of butter. And we're gonna salt this up and see. It's a lot of meat. It actually is. Weighing it out, you see how much it is. And check this out. I mean, that's about half of that ground beef. There might be a little bit more than half left in the pan, but most of it's in there. That's crazy. Anyway, oh, look who's there. What do you want to eat? You hungry, biscuit? Oh. All right. There it is. The first meal of the 30-day ground beef challenge. Like I said while I was cooking it, got pretty shaky. I'm really hungry. You drain it, you weigh it out. That's a lot of meat right there. A pound. Now, I looked it up. This has got 1,100 calories, 73.27 cooked and drained. 1 pound is 1,100 calories. And then the butter, 1/4 stick, is around 200 calories. So 1,300 calories today. I'm definitely in a deficit. I know most carnivores don't count calories. I promised little Larry I'd keep track of my calories this month. So he was interested, and some of you might be too. Some people do you know, try and stay in a deficit on the carnivore diet. But if I ate 2 bowls like this every day, you know, that should be about right for me. So let's see how this tastes. Oh yeah. All right, let me get this last bite. Scooped up. That took me 13 minutes to eat that. You guys know, most of you know I got dentures. Takes me a little longer to get through meat, but that's a lot easier than eating a steak. And a month of ground beef only. I'll see how it goes. While I was eating, I watched a video from Carnivore Kid, his latest. If you see this, Kip, what's up? Hope you're doing good. 30 days of ground beef. It's gonna be interesting. So yesterday's day 1 video just went live about an hour and a half ago, and I want to answer a few of your questions or comments that you guys put up with the WED, watching every day. The first one's from Journey of Life, watching every day. Are you doing weigh-ins, and which beef are you using? The 80-20? Well, as you saw in today's video, it's the 73-27. And weigh-ins, I'm thinking about doing one at the 2-week mark and then one at the end of the month. See how we're doing. I'm really hoping I'm down at least 15 pounds. There's no reason I shouldn't be. And I'm looking forward to that. The next one's from Teal Elliott. Love watching every day. I appreciate that, Teal. Moto Dad says, watching every day. Good luck with your challenge, but I would hope you would get a better quality beef if that's all you're going to be consuming. I'm not doing ground beef only, but mostly beef and eggs. Yeah, I hear you, Moto Dad. I thought about, you know, trying to see how cheaply I could eat a carnivore diet this month by getting those big rolls from Walmart. But Cassie and I were discussing that same thing, and I'll be getting some, you know, higher quality ground beef. Our oldest son, Cody, is still a butcher, and I actually talked to him the other day, and with his discount, he can get me a very high quality ground beef at about $6 a pound. So a couple times this month, I'll definitely hit up his butcher shop. I'll take you guys along with me when I go, and we'll get some quality stuff. However, I am a firm believer, if, you know, that Walmart ground beef is all you can afford, go for it. It's much better than a Big Mac, right? Or pizza. And we can't afford high quality stuff every day, but we can definitely sprinkle it in. And I want to see the taste difference, you know, and I'll really be able to tell when that's all I'm consuming all month. Beth Willard says, blessings, always watching every day. Congratulations. Thanks, Beth. Very cool. Lulu Bug, watching every day. Have you tried a dry fast? I'm still detoxing 2 weeks later from 4 days of dry fasting. Holy smokes. No, Lulu Bug, I have never tried one. Had a lot of people recommend them to me. I just crave water, you know, when I fast. I love to pound the water. So, and speaking of water, I did have 4 of those big tumblers of water today, and I'll probably have 1 more. You guys know, since this is my last meal, I don't want to be eating, you know, watching TV later tonight or anything like that. You know, I'll be hitting the water. Yeah, I might even have 2 more tumblers tonight. So, but no, I have never tried a dry fast. Lady T Terza says, watching every day, no question though. I'm just rooting for you as always. Lady T, you've always got our back. You know, Cass and I love you. So that's all the WED questions I had for the first hour and a half release of the video from yesterday. I appreciate you guys and your questions. You know, when I put out a video daily, you know, it's not real good for the algorithm to only put out like a 3 or 4 minute video. It should be at least 7 to 8 minutes. So I thought this is a cool way to, you know, extend the video a little longer so the algorithm picks it up, reaches new people, and I can answer your questions at the same time, you know. I appreciate so much those of you who have not lost faith in me. It's, you know, the end of last year was kind of brutal, and I'm feeling so much better now, especially up here. And I just want to thank you all for the support and the love. You know, ignore the haters. Ignore the haters. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow on day 3. Remember, no sugar, no carbs, no cheating. Later.